Jorge Prado's uneasy marriage with Kawasaki has gone from whispers to a full-blown rumor mill. By all accounts, Prado hasn't found the comfort he needs on the KX450, and the feeling inside the team reportedly isn't much warmer. That's why the talk of a switch to KTM keeps getting louder, and why some are now wondering whether he'll even line up for SMX on green. The twist: we may not have to wait long for clarity. There's fresh chatter that Prado wants to race the Motocross of Nations after all, only not on a Kawasaki, but back on a KTM. On the latest Racer X race review, Jason Thomas floated a theory that's making the rounds. I heard a theory from someone whose opinion I value. Jorge was going to race Kawi at the SMX playoffs. He will then ask to have his exact race bike KTM from last year brought to Ironman for MXON, a full works bike, because he can run that. And he would be all in, engaged to try change the narrative. See, I try to tell you guys, he will probably be at KTM next year. That's a theory of what I heard he may be planning deep down. If that scenario plays out, Spain's yet-to-be-named MXON squad could suddenly feature Prado already back in orange, alongside Ruben Fernandez and Guillaume Fares, a trio with real podium teeth. Meanwhile, multiple paddock reports suggest Prado is trying to exit the final 2 years of his Kawasaki deal to reunite with Redbull KTM. Steve Mathis has also indicated that Prado will likely finish the last 3 rounds, the SMX playoffs, and then be done with Kawasaki. With Jason Anderson sidelined for the rest of the year, Kawasaki's playoff roster is essentially Prado alone, which only adds weight to the if turning into when. However it shakes out, the next few weeks could redefine Prado's immediate future, and maybe Spain's too, right on the eve of MXON at Ironman. For decades, motocross lived by an unwritten code: you don't air your bike's dirty laundry. If something was wrong, parts, setup, trust, teams handled it behind closed doors, and contracts often made sure of that. But that era is slipping away. Social media has given riders a direct line to fans, and with one post they can reach more people than any press release. Faster, rawer, and far more personal. After Budds Creek, Tom Vialle openly explained why he skipped the second moto, a shock failure that he felt made it unsafe to continue. Chase Sexton has, at times, hinted he didn't fully trust aspects of his KTM setup. And Jorge Prado's own posts, meant to share his side of the story, brought a wave of backlash on Instagram and X, criticism not only from fans, but from people inside the sport willing to clap back publicly. That's the double edge. Direct communication builds authenticity and closeness with the audience, but also invites immediate, sometimes hostile, scrutiny. Historically, such bluntness was rare enough to be legendary. In the 1970s, U.S. star Marty Smith spoke candidly about his factory Honda during European races, calling it basically junk after repeated technical issues, a bombshell in an age of total team discretion. Today, thanks to social platforms, candor like that surfaces every other weekend. Teams now walk a tightrope, ignore rider criticism, and risk looking tone-deaf, or respond and end up on the defensive. The power dynamic has shifted. Riders are no longer only employees, they're global brand ambassadors with their own audiences and leverage. Vialle's admission, Prado's posts, and Sexton's hints all underline the same reality. The sport is more transparent than ever. For fans, that means unprecedented access, insight, and authenticity. For manufacturers and teams, it means higher technical standards and a constant communications challenge. Where silence once reigned, there are now live broadcasts from the paddock to the timeline. Whether this makes the sport healthier and more honest, or simply heightens tensions behind the scenes, remains an open question. One thing is certain: the riders' voices are louder than ever, and they'll keep shaping the story of motocross from the inside out.